Hey there. With the NFL playoffs set to start today, I wanted to get this video out with my predictions on who I think will win each game and make their way all the way to the Super Bowl and eventually win it all. The first matchup I will discuss is the Houston Texans versus the Buffalo Bills. The Texans are the home team in this matchup with their decently developing running game in Carlos Hyde, along with DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. They're a tough opponent in these playoffs. The Bills definitely have a formidable defense, but they don't offer enough on the offensive side of the ball to really pose that much of a challenge against the Texans. I see the home team winning this matchup. The next matchup we have is between the New England Patriots versus the Tennessee Titans. The Patriots are in a bit of foreign territory as they haven't played in a wild card weekend matchup since 2009. The Titans have been coming on strong since the emergence of Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback, and with their workhorse running back, Derrick Henry. The Patriots are the Patriots. They have a tremendous defense, but their offense has been lacking as of late. And as much fun as it would be to see someone other than the Patriots in the divisional round, I don't think the Titans can do it. I will say, however, that it will be a very tight game, and if the Patriots can't stop Henry, there's a good chance of them losing this one. The divisional round would then consist of the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans, and the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New England Patriots. There hasn't been a hotter team than the Ravens this season. Lamar Jackson has been a revelation and an MVP candidate. With him and his dual threat running ability paired with Mark Ingram, they are a challenging team to face in this postseason. It should be an entertaining game between these two teams led by great young quality quarterbacks, but I see the Ravens winning this one with some ease. The Chiefs have the best lineup that could possibly challenge the Ravens in the AFC. With Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Damian Williams, they are an incredibly potent offense. Not to mention their other speedy receivers in Mecole Hardman and Sammy Watkins. With all this, I think they'll have no issue beating the Patriots in this round and working their way to the AFC Championship game. Finally, that brings us to the AFC Championship game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of these teams are strong offensively, and their defenses have been playing pretty well as of late. I believe this game will turn out to be the last one that possesses the ball will win. With that, I think the Chiefs get over this hump and make it to their first Super Bowl since 1970. Now on to the NFC and their wild card weekend that consists of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints against the Minnesota Vikings. The Seahawks are dealing with some serious issues with the running back core, with losing Chris Carson and Rashad Penny to season-ending injuries and relying on bringing back former teammates Robert Turbin and Marshawn Lynch to provide them with some spark on the offense besides Tyler Lockett. The Eagles had controlled their own destiny to make their way into the playoffs, but with Nick Foles playing in Jacksonville now, I don't see them having the same postseason success just yet. They do have some bright spots on that offensive side, though, with dual tight end threats of Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert with rookie running back Miles Sanders. Even with these throwback running backs, I see the Seahawks winning this matchup on Sunday. On to the next game where we're getting a rematch of the Minneapolis Miracle with the Saints and the Vikings, except this time this game will be played in New Orleans. A different venue will also showcase a different outcome in my opinion. Drew Brees has been playing like an all-star since returning from his injury, and even with Alvin Kamara not having his best season, he's still a quality back with Michael Thomas and the resurgence of Jared Cook. They have plenty of weapons. Minnesota is entering this playoff game with some banged-up running backs and Thielen still trying to work his way back from that hamstring injury that forced him to miss several games this season. Even if they were completely healthy, I would say it would have been really tough for them to beat the Saints. With their talented roster still dealing with some nagging injuries, I don't think they can really contend with the Saints in this matchup. That sets us up for a divisional round of the San Francisco 49ers versus Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Niners have been one of the best teams in the NFC this year, with solid play out of Garoppolo and George Kittle, along with their running back by committee that showcases 3 to 4 running backs at any given time, which allows them to bring in guys with fresh legs at any point against a winded defense. Not to mention their defense that ranks near the tops in the league in passing yards and total yards given up. They are indeed a tough matchup. I think with Seattle's newfound inability to run the football and relying too much on their passing attack, which plays right into the hands of the Niners, they won't be able to finish off this game, paving the way for the Niners to make it to the NFC Championship game. On to the other NFC matchup. The Packers have been playing well enough during the season to win their way into home field advantage, but they're probably the weakest teams out of all of them that got the first round bye in this year's playoffs. They've had inconsistent play out of Aaron Rodgers, their wide receivers not named Devontae Adams, and their defense at different times this year. They also draw the Saints, which is their first test in this postseason. The only thing they have going for them is the home field advantage, but unless something miraculous happens, I see the Saints winning this game. That gives us the San Francisco 49ers matchup versus the New Orleans Saints. A great rematch from the Week 14 game between these two teams saw the 49ers beat the Saints 48-46 on a last-second field goal. This time around, I feel the Saints will beat the 49ers. It'll be a great game regardless of the outcome, but I think Sean Payton has some more tricks up his sleeve to get Breeze back to the Super Bowl and what could be his final years in the NFL. This gives us a Super Bowl matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints, a matchup I don't think anyone would be upset with. We could see another Super Bowl onside kick call from Sean Payton. We could also see a very Mahomesian performance that carries his team. My personal opinion, this is Breeze and the Saints game to lose. There is something to be said about having that veteran experience at the helm of your team. Again, regardless of the outcome, I don't believe we'll be disappointed. Well, there you have it. Those are my playoff picks for this NFL postseason. I'll be watching anxiously, as I'm sure you all will be as well. Until next time, I'm Kevin Householder.